Dear students, today let us discuss about one of the most fascinating and important principle proposed by Werner Heisenberg, a German physicist, that is the uncertainty principle. You see, in the any given experiment, we make the measurement, and then the values which we measure by the experiment always some variation with the exact value. This variation depends upon the setup of the experiment and the accuracy with which we are making the measurement. Still, if you say the x is now the value, and this x is now x plus or minus, we write as delta x, where the delta x is now it may be the error in the measurement, or we can say the value of the x varies by x plus delta x or x minus delta x. But this delta x can be made to decrease if we make a very fine instrument, a very precise measurement, taking all the care. We can make a delta x is now become very small, so that our accuracy of the measurement is now going to increase. Therefore, according to the classical idea, one can make the measurement with the highest degree of accuracy. That means it is about, we can say, in the ideal case, it is now 100% accuracy, where there is not at all any error in the measurement. But Heisenberg, who was a German physicist, proposed a new idea in 1927, and according to his idea, that is a principle, when we do the measurement in the microscopic level, such as the particles, that measurement always there is some degree of uncertainty, and however we make the precautions or finest instrument which we use, but still there is some degree of uncertainty creeps in the measurement, and that is actually the basic essence of the uncertainty principle. Now we consider what exactly this principle states. Now suppose we try to measure a position of a particle. Let us say we try to measure a position of a particle, such as the electron or the neutron or the proton or the alpha particle, and how to measure the position of the particle. We make to find the position of the particle, we irradiate this particle with the radiation, and the particle is now going to scatter the radiation. The scattered radiation is now observed by using a detector, is it not? Therefore, we pinpoint the position or locate the position of the particle which is situated at the P, and very precisely we try to measure the position of the particle. But when we do the measure, try to locate this position of the particle, the very act of the measurement itself is now cause the uncertainty in the measurement of the position. And how we are going to locate a object in the daily life? Actually, in the same case, the light is now incident on the object is now going to scatter the light in all direction. The scattered light is now going to received by us, and we observe the object, is it not? For example, this marker pen, where I am observing, the light is now incident on the pen, and it is now scattered by the pen, and it is now received by eye, and we can observe the pen. Therefore, in the case of the microscopic particle, the radiation such as the gamma rays or the X-rays are now incident on this electron, and let us say this is the particle, the electron, and it is now get scattered, and so that the detector is now observing this, and one can say this is the position of the electron. But the very act of the irradiation with the radiation itself is now causes the displacement of the particle from the position P. It may be a very small displacement, but certainly it now causes the uncertainty in the measurement of the location of the particle. Therefore, if you say the x is now the position of the particle here, Then what is the uncertainty? Uncertainty in the position of the particle is now become what we have the delta x. Now suppose if the particle we have measured the momentum, and the very act of the how to measure the momentum, the particle is now moves, and the particle is now moves with the velocity v, and it now reaches to the another point, let us say q, and therefore the distance is equal to x. We take a stopwatch and we measure what is the time taken by the particle to move from this position p to q, and so that one can get the velocity of the particle. Once we know the velocity of the particle, what is the momentum of the particle? The momentum of the particle is become m into v. But the very act of the measurement from when it moves from here to here by using a stopwatch and so on, and that causes the uncertainty in the measurement of the momentum. And if you say the p is now the momentum of the particle, then we have the delta p is now become what we have the uncertainty in the measurement of the momentum. Now, according to the uncertainty principle, which states that simultaneously one cannot measure the position of the particle and the momentum of the particle with the highest degree of accuracy. Therefore, we state the uncertainty principle. According to the statement of this principle, simultaneously one cannot measure the position and momentum of the particle with highest degree of accuracy. Now, what do you mean by the highest degree of accuracy? This statement actually has some important terms. Now, the one is simultaneously. Simultaneously means at the same time you cannot measure the position and the momentum of the particle with the highest degree of accuracy. What is the highest degree of accuracy? Highest degree of accuracy means it is now 100% accurate. 100% accurate means there is no uncertainty at all. Uncertainty of the measurement is equal to 0. And it states that simultaneously one cannot measure the position and the momentum of the particle with the highest degree accuracy. Suppose if you measure the position only, there is a possibility that you can measure with the 100% accuracy. And if you measure only the momentum, it is now possible that there is not at all any uncertainty. You can measure with the 100% accuracy. But simultaneously, if you measure the momentum and the position, you cannot measure with the highest degree of accuracy. Always there is a certain amount of the uncertainty in the measurement of the position, or the certain degree of uncertainty in the measurement of the momentum of the particle. Always a slight, there is a variation, and the uncertainty creeps in the measurement of the position or the measurement of the momentum. Now, the mathematically has shown that this uncertainty in the position, let us say as a delta x, the uncertainty in the momentum as delta p, then the delta x into delta p, the product of the uncertainty in the measurement of the position and the momentum, which is given by delta x into delta p, is equal to h, or better it is now h by 2 pi, or sometime it is now h by 4 pi also. Therefore, uncertainty in the measurement of the position and the momentum, the product of the uncertainty in the measurement of the position and the momentum is always greater than or equal to h by 2 pi, which is also known as the h cross, which is h cross, or it is now h cross by 2. That is actually the statement of the uncertainty principle. and simultaneously one cannot measure the momentum and the position with 100% accuracy. Always there is some degree of the uncertainty in the measurement of the position or the measurement of the momentum, and the product of these two is equal to h cross or h cross by 2. Now this value of h, as we know that it is now 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second, and it is extremely small value. Even though it is extremely small value, in the microscopic level it is become very appreciable. Therefore, even though it now looks as a 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34, when we consider in the microscopic level and simultaneously one cannot measure the position and the momentum of the particle with 100% accuracy, and always there is an uncertainty of the order 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second, and therefore the this measurement in the case of the x-axis, if you write as the horizontal direction, if it is now delta px, I can write, and delta x is the measurement in the horizontal direction, and then delta x into delta px is now greater than or equal to h cross. Suppose if it is now in the y direction, same thing I can write delta y into delta py greater than or equal to h cross, or in the z direction delta z into delta pz greater than or equal to h cross. This is now in the case of the measurement of the momentum and the position. Now in the same fashion, we have this uncertainty in the measurement of the energy and the time, which is given as delta E into delta T greater than or equal to h cross, where the measurement of the energy and the time. Let us say we measure the energy of an atom in a given time interval t. We measure the energy of the atom in the ground state and then in the excited state in a given time interval t, and what we measure the energy, it may not be 100% accurate, and there is a certain degree of the uncertainty. What is the uncertainty in the measurement of energy? That is delta E, and then the delta T is the time interval delta E into delta T greater than or equal to h cross. Same way, we have the another relation between the uncertainty between the angular momentum, which we write as a L. Delta L is now the uncertainty in the measurement of the angular momentum of the particle which move along a circular path, and delta theta, which is now the angular displacement, and therefore delta L into delta theta greater than or equal to h cross. Now the totally, when we consider this delta P into delta x greater than or equal to h cross, delta E into delta T or delta L into delta theta, this is referred as the canonical variable, where the two quantities, either the momentum and the position, or the energy and the time, and the angular momentum and the angular displacement, where this uncertainty principle is now applicable. Now you cannot apply the uncertainty expression for all the quantities. You cannot straight away write, let us say delta P into delta theta, or delta E into delta x, cannot apply. Or let us say you are going to measure the energy and the magnetic field, delta E and delta B, uncertainty greater than or equal to h cross. It is not possible. And the uncertainty principle follows when we have the product of the two quantities, and it is now the dimensionally, or we can say the unit wise, it should be joule second. Then only you can apply the uncertainty principle. Straight away you cannot apply. So we have the two separate, the entities is now measured, and you apply the uncertainty principle. It does not happen. It is now when we take the uncertainty of the two quantities, the product of the uncertainties, which should give the unit joule second, and joule second, which is now the unit for the Planck's constant, then you can have the uncertainty principle. Therefore, in a nutshell, when you consider the uncertainty principle in the measurement of the position and the momentum, it says that simultaneously one cannot measure the position and the momentum of the particle with the highest degree of accuracy, and therefore we have the first this expression. What is the uncertainty principle for the energy and the time? Simultaneously one cannot measure the energy and the time with the highest degree of accuracy, and simultaneously one cannot measure the angular momentum and the angular displacement with the highest degree of accuracy. Now actually this uncertainty principle, if you go slightly deeper, this uncertainty principle is now due to the inherent property of the microscopic particle, which is now associated with the duality of the particle, which is now the wave nature, which we already discussed about the matter waves. Now we have the matter wave. When we, if you remember our discussion in the matter wave, we have said that the matter wave is now made up of the large number of the waves of almost the same frequency overlap with each other, which gives now what we have, the group of waves. Now we measure the position of the particle by taking the wavelength, because what is the de Broglie hypothesis says the lambda equal to h divided by p, where lambda is the wavelength, p is now the momentum of the particle, h is now the Planck's constant. Now let us assume that this wave is now a very narrow. The wave is now very narrow. Therefore, there is a particle is here and the wave is now very narrow. Now suppose if the wave is now very narrow, one can locate the position of the particle, because this particle is now associated with the wave. This wave is now very narrow. That means it is now pinpointing the particle. Therefore, if you say this is now the characteristic of the wave associated with this particle, that means this narrow wave indicate that one can measure the position of the particle, with I can say certainty. That means the uncertainty is now very less in the measurement of the position of the particle. But at the same time, what is the wavelength? This is now actually lambda. Therefore, I can write, but lambda is uncertain, is it not? But lambda is uncertain. Now already we know that the lambda equal to h by p. Lambda equal to h by p. Lambda is uncertain. That means which is uncertain? This p is now become uncertain. Hence I can write momentum p is uncertain. If momentum p is uncertain, that means we have the delta p. Delta p is now uncertain. Now we consider that delta x is now the what we have the position. Therefore, I can write this one as the delta p into delta x. What is delta p? Lambda is uncertain. Therefore, we have the delta p. Therefore, delta p I can write as the delta p equal to h by lambda. What is delta x? Delta x is equal to lambda itself. Therefore, lambda. Therefore, simply we have the delta p into delta x, which is equal to delta p into delta x equal to h. There is uncertainty principle. On the other hand, let us assume this is now the wave is now become very broad. When the wave is now the broad, now the particle may be here, 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 the particle may be anywhere, is it not? The particle can situated anywhere between these two interval, anywhere it can be located. That means when the wave is now become very broad, the particle can be situated anywhere between these two interval, which is become uncertain then. That means the location of particle is very much uncertain, is it not? The location of the particle is become very much uncertain. Hence, we have delta x, it is become very uncertain. I can write this as delta p into x here. Delta p into x, x is now uncertain. What is that x? X is equal to lambda. Hence, we have the delta x. Now, if you consider the location is now uncertain, but one can measure this wavelength. The wavelength is now become the more certain. The wavelength is now more certain. That means, if you consider delta x into lambda is equal to delta x into if the wavelength is now certain, then which is now the which implies P is certain. If P is certain, P is equal to h by lambda. P is equal to h by lambda. Therefore, what we have the delta, we have the uncertain delta x into the P is certain, and that means delta x is equal to delta x into what is the P? P is equal to h by lambda. H by lambda. Now we have the or in other words, this can be written as delta x into 1 minute. Therefore, we have P is certain, P is equal to h by lambda. The delta x is now become uncertain, and therefore I can write this one as delta x into P. Delta x into P. What is delta x into P? Delta x into P, which is equal to delta x into h by lambda. But what is delta x? Delta x is now the locating of this particle, and this delta x is nothing but the lambda. Therefore, this lambda cancel, or in other words, again you have the delta x into delta px, which is equal to h, which is nothing but what we have the uncertainty principle. Therefore, the location of the particle when it is the narrow wave, and you can locate the position of the particle very precisely, and the wavelength is now uncertain, which is now make the P is now uncertain. And in the broad wave, the wave is now become the broader. The momentum is now become a very precise one. The momentum is become the very precise one, but the location is now become the uncertain. Location is uncertain. Therefore, the uncertainty is in the microscopic level. It is an inherent characteristic of the particle or the system which is in the microscopic level. And uncertainty is not observable in case of the macroscopic level. Supposing if you say the bus is moving, the location of the bus, it is now certain, there is no uncertainty. And similarly, the momentum, very precisely one can measure the momentum and the position of the object in the macroscopic level, but not in the microscopic level. Now we go slightly further, and we said that there are the three uncertainty principle corresponding to the position and the momentum, energy and the time, and similarly the angular momentum as well as the angular displacement. Now let us, I will consider the first one we have already considered, position and the momentum. Now let us say the particle is now moving with the energy, and it is now having the energy E is equal to usual expression half m v square. This expression can be written as, in terms of the momentum, if we write, this is, you multiply by m and divide by m. Therefore, this is become half. This is m square v square by m, or simply it is become p square by 2m, is it not? This is become the energy. Now let us differentiate this equation on both the side with respect to the p. Therefore, I can write this one as dE by dP is equal to 2p by 2m. This 2 cancel, or will get p by m. Now what is this p? P is now the momentum of the particle, and therefore this I can write as the p is now equal to P can be written as m into v divided by m, or this I can write as a v. Therefore, dE by dP is equal to v. But what is v? V is equal to x by t, or I can write this one as dx by dt. Therefore, this is equal to dE by dP equal to dx by dt, or simply this is dE into dt is equal to dP into dx. This dE we can write this dE as delta E, dt as I will write as delta t, dP as delta p, this is delta x. But what is delta p and delta x? This is already we have considered in the first case, the uncertainty in the momentum and the position, and that is now greater than or equal to h cross. Therefore, we have delta E into delta t greater than or equal to h cross. That is the uncertainty in the case of the measurement of the energy and the time. Therefore, we have the expression E equal to half mv square, or can be written as p square by 2m. We differentiate this one dE by dP. This is now become 2p, and therefore this cancel pm and the p equal to mv. Therefore, v, this v is now written as dx by dt. Therefore, we have the simply dE into dt equal to dP into dx, dP into dx, which is nothing but h cross. Therefore, we have the uncertainty in the measurement of the energy and the time. Now, same way we can write the angular momentum. It is a particle moves along a circle, and this is now the angular displacement. And what is, we have the L, the angular momentum. I can write the angular momentum of the particle. What is angular momentum? That is, L can be written as L equal to mv into r, or that can be written as PR, where the m into v, that is the momentum, and therefore we have the p into r, and r is now the radius of the orbit about which the particle is now rotating. Now let us differentiate this one with respect to p. Therefore, I can write this one as I will write this one as dl by dp, that is equal to r, and let us write this as equation 1, dl by dp is equal to r. And we also, this particle moves from here to here and a small displacement, that is be written as a x. Now what is x here? X is equal to, if you observe here, x is equal to r into theta. This is actually the arc length. X is equal to r into theta. Now let us differentiate with respect to theta, where the theta is the angular displacement. Dx by dt d theta is equal to r. Substitute in the equation 1. Therefore we have dl by dp is equal to dx by d theta, or simply this is now dl into d theta is equal to dp into dx, or we can write, I can write this as delta L, d theta I can write as delta theta. What is dx into dp, which is uncertainty for the position and the momentum, and that is now greater than or equal to h cross, which is nothing but we have the uncertainty principle for the angular momentum and the angular displacement. Where the particle moves along a circular path, x is now the displacement of the particle, linear translational displacement. Its angular momentum is given by mvr, usual expression, which is written as p into r. Therefore dl into dp, dl by dp equal to r. We are differentiating with respect to p, and x is equal to r theta. Therefore dx by d theta equal to r. Substituting here, simply we will get dl by dp equal to dx by d theta, or dl into d theta, which is nothing but delta L into delta theta, which is nothing but what we have the uncertainty principle for the angular momentum and the angular displacement. Now we consider one example so that it has become more clear. Let us say delta x into delta p. Delta x into delta p is equal to, I said that it is equal to h or greater than h. This h value as an example, I will take this h value, let us take as 4 example only. Now we make the measurement of the position and the momentum. We consider this delta x value, I will consider this delta x is equal to 1, and the delta x is, if the delta x is equal to 1, we have to get the 4. What is the value of the delta p? Delta p is equal to 4, therefore 1 into 4, that is equal to 4, is it not? Suppose if we make the measurement very precisely, we make the measurement with all the precautions, we decrease this delta x further. Instead of this 1, we make this one is equal to 0.5. And when we make this one is equal to 0.5, what is the value of this delta p? And when it is now 0.5, to get this 4, and naturally this is equal to become 8, delta p is now increased. Now we make the measurement still accurate, so that this delta x value is now become, let us say, 0.25. Then what is the value of this delta p? Delta p is equal to 4 divided by 0.25, and this is equal to 0.25, and if it is now the 0.25, this is now 4 divided by 0.25. 0.25 means it is now 1 by 4 divided by 0.25, or it is equal to, this is equal to 400 by 25, how much it is? This is become 80, is it right? Not 80, 25, 400 by 25, how much it is? It's 16. This is become 16. And if you make a delta x is now still further lesser, what happens to delta p? Delta p is now going to increase. That means if you make the one of the term become the lesser and the lesser, the uncertainty of the other term is now going to increase. If you make the uncertainty of this delta p is now become lesser and the lesser, what happens to delta x? Delta x is now going to increase. Always there is a uncertainty in the measurement of the position or the momentum, energy or the time or the angular displacement and the angular momentum. And lastly, this uncertainty is not the fault of the experimenter. This is not the limitation of the experiment. And we take all the precautions and we use the finest instrument. We have one of the very beautiful and the setup and the lab, and we have take the minute detail of the experiment, we do the measurement, and still in the microscopic level, and there is a certain degree of the uncertainty. ಅನಿಶ್ಚಿತತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದರೆ ಅನಿಶ್ಚಿತತೆ. And therefore uncertainty, it is now creeps in the measurement in the microscopic level or in the particles, which actually has a lot of consequence which we are going to study in the next classes. I hope you have followed whatever we are discussed. And actually this principle was when given by Heisenberg. And just to recall the Heisenberg, and Heisenberg born in 1901 in the Germany, and he did his graduate and postgraduate studies in the Munich University, and then he joined with as a research scholar with the Max Born, who was one of the great physicists and has given the immense contribution for the quantum mechanics. And Heisenberg also has given the contribution for the development of the quantum mechanics, and he developed a particular formalism known as the matrix mechanics. And at the time of 1927 or so, when he proposed this uncertainty principle, that was a very exciting time, and a lot of development was happening, and the de Broglie proposed the matter wave hypothesis, and then soon the whole equation for the matter wave in the form of the mathematical foundation was given by Schrodinger's wave equation. Almost at the same time, Heisenberg proposed this idea of the equation for the matter wave in terms of the matrix. Therefore, there are the two type of the explanation for the waves, or what we call as the wave function, in terms of the wave nature and in terms of the matrix. And ultimately it came to know that whatever the matrix mechanics, which is now very similar to what we have the quantum mechanics or the wave mechanics. And when the story says that Heisenberg was actually very well aware regarding the discovery of the nuclear fission, which led to the development of the nuclear bomb. And ultimately, you know that it was dropped on the Hiroshima and Nagasaki and was the destruction. And Heisenberg was well aware regarding the whole phenomenon, and he was in the Germany, but still he was not said what happens for the nucleus when it is bombarded with the neutron. And therefore the nuclear fission process and the whole phenomenon of the nuclear fission was well thought of Heisenberg, but for the peace of the world he was not disclosed whatever the information he had. And he was in the Germany, and these Americans actually sent one person to kill Heisenberg, because Germany, you know that in the Second World War there was the war between the German as one side and the whole other countries were on the other side, and Heisenberg was a German, and therefore from America, a spy was sent to kill Heisenberg. And Heisenberg was in Switzerland. He was giving a lecture in a particular seminar or the conference. He was a brilliant lecturer, and he was presenting his thoughts in the conference, and this fellow with the rifle was sitting in the last bench and hearing the beautiful lecture giving by Heisenberg. Suddenly that fellow was, this comes in the history of physics, suddenly that fellow who had the pistol in his pocket and he wanted to kill Heisenberg got himself uncertainty whether to kill this brilliant scientist and probably that stopped him, that uncertainty which appeared in his mind, and he could not kill Heisenberg. Heisenberg actually got the Nobel Prize for this particular principle in 1932. And Heisenberg, Pauli, and then Schrodinger, de Broglie, Jordan, and then Max Born, these are the great minds who actually developed the whole branch of the what we call as the quantum mechanics, which is now a fundamental theoretical foundation for to explain the various phenomena happens in the microscopic level. Without these different theories, one cannot think of the whole development of the modern physics, or we can say the whole science of the 20th century. That is why the Heisenberg was considered as the greatest mind of the modern physics. And in fact, the story also says that Heisenberg was actually in a particular island. He was thinking regarding the development of the whole equations, and he could not derive these equations. And with the stress, he went to seaside at the morning time. Almost at the 3 o'clock, he went to nearby sea, and he said, it comes in the biography of Heisenberg, he writes that the whole equations were dancing on the waves. Suddenly he got the revelations, and various equations begin to dance on the surface of the water, and only the highest mind can think of these various phenomena happens in the microscopic level. Okay, I will stop this story of the Heisenberg. Therefore, in the nutshell, what we have discussed, there is always uncertainty in the measurement of in the case of the microscopic system, where they simultaneously one cannot measure the position and the momentum of the particle, or the energy and the time, or the angular momentum and the angular displacement. And this leads to some of the consequence in the microscopic level. For example, the energy spread, or the non-existence of the electron inside the nucleus, which we are going to discuss in the next class. Okay, I'll stop here.